Welcome back to another episode of a Sudden Scientific Railgun. So first of all, different setup. I know it's a temporary one. It looks a bit scuffed, but we're gonna have to make do for like 2 to 3 weeks. Anyways, in the previous episode, we ended it on one big bombshell with Saten falling into the entire trap of wanting to use the level upper. So we'll see how that's gonna go. I hope she doesn't end up using it. She's about to use it. She's about to show it to her friends as well, which is going to be a bad time if it actually goes through. We saw what the side effects of a level upper are, right? It seems like the people who use it tend to start becoming more prone to committing crimes, and also they eventually fall into a coma, right? Which they have no cure for as of right now. So yeah, it wouldn't be a good time if Saten used it, right? But we also saw Kuroko pop off in the previous episode as always. So yeah, let's see where this one takes us. So if you want to watch this, Uncut and Blurred, as always on Patreon in the description. And let's go into A Sudden Scientific Railgun, episode 10. This is a different show. That's Saten? Rico? Yeah. So they used the level up, or all of them did. Oh no, they actually used it. No, they used it. Yeah, how does it work? For her care. What a phone. By the way, does the well, actually, I was gonna say, does the light novel go into detail on how exactly this works, the level upper? Like what exactly it does to the brain that it A, makes your power stronger, but B, also makes you more inclined to commit crimes and stuff, but we haven't seen it. Maybe the anime is gonna explain it as well, so... Oh, maybe they are going to explain it. I really need to read the light novel of this. Really want to know all the nitty-gritty of the powers and stuff. Call her. Call her. She's not gonna pick up, is she? Yeah? Easy. It is an epidemic, huh? It's just some alcohol rub.
せんね。泣き言を言っても始まりませんわよ。とにかく私たちがなすべきことは3つ。レベルアッパー拡散の阻止と昏睡した使用者の回復。そして、レベルアッパー開発者の検挙。これを開発し、ネットに広めた何者かを
Yeah, that makes
必ず見
sense.
つけ出して目論みを吐かせてやりますわ。さあ、先に手当てしちゃいましょう。本当は、みさこさんに巻いてほしいんじゃないです
Of
か。お
course.
姉様に私のこんな
Oh,
姿
never
を見せ
mind.
るわけにはいきませんわ。大丈夫ですよ。誰も見たくないですから。
I do really like Uiharu. Got teleported on.
お姉様。で、進んでるの捜査の方。それが、木山先生の話では、短期間に
The
大量の
Testament,
電
yes.
子情報を脳に入
I
力
want to
す
know
る
more
た
about
め
the
の
Testament.
テスタメントという特殊な装置もあるそうですの。でも、それは視覚、聴覚、味覚、嗅覚、触覚の五感すべ
This
て
one
に
is just
働きかけ
hearing.
るもので、レベルアッパーはただの
Yeah.
ソフト、聴覚作用だけね。植物状態になった被害者の絵を捜索しても、あの曲のデータ以外何も見つからないんです。あ、仮の話だけどさ、曲自体に五感に働きかける作用がある可能性はないかな。どういう意味ですか？
Synesthesia?
前にかき氷食べた時
Yeah,
覚
synesthesia.
えてない？食べ比べ？いや、そっちでなく。
It could be.
共感覚醒。何ですか？共感覚醒ですの。
Or synesthesia,
複数の感覚を得る
if you want to be British.
ある種の方法で感覚を刺激することによって別の感覚も刺激されることよ。つまり音で五感を刺激しテスタメントと同じような効果を出していると。その可能性はあるな。なるほど、見落としていた。
That's really
その
cool.
面で調査をお願いしたいのですが。ああ、そういうことならツリーダイアグラムの許可も下りるだろう。ツリーダイアグラム？学園都市一のスーパーコンピューターならすぐですね。結果が出たら知らせるよ。
So basically, if I'm getting this correctly, they're basically simulating a testament by invoking synesthesia within a person by only hearing a sound. They invoke synesthesia by routing that sound to other senses as well and stimulating all the senses, basically creating an artificial sense of synesthesia within the person, and by doing that, kind of acting as a testament, right, to up their skills then. That's crazy.
今からそっちに行ってもいいですか？ツリーダイアグラムを使うところを私も見てみたい
I
です。
want to see it as well.
構わんよ。
Ooh, hell yeah. Hell yes.
どうよ、4、5日練習しただけでもうこれだよ。私だってみんなすごい。やっぱウイハルにだけは教えようかな。でも怒られちゃうかな。あけみ、
Already?
どうしたの？あけみさん、あけみさん、しっかりして。あけみさん。あ、サテンさん、心配してたんですよ。学校でもよそよそしいし、電話しても着信拒否だし。入れちゃった。はい。あけみが急に倒れちゃったの。レベルアッパーを使ったら倒れちゃうなんて、私知らなくて。なんでこんなことに。私、そんなつもりじゃ。落ち着いて、ゆっくり最初から。レベルアッパーを手に入れちゃったんだけど、所有者を捕まえるって言うから。でも捨てられなくて、それで明美たちがレベルアッパーが欲しいって。違う、本当は一人で使うのが怖かっただけ。とにかく今どこですか？私も倒れちゃうのかな。そしたらもう二度と起きられないのかな。私、何の力もない自分が嫌で。 でもどうしても憧れは捨てられなくて。ママ、何ですか？レベル0って欠陥品なのかな？何よ。それがズルして力を手にしようとしたからバチが当たったのかな。
Hmm.
危ないものに手を出して周りを巻き込んで、私大丈夫です。もし眠っちゃっても私がすぐに起こしてあげます。サテンさんも明美さんも他の眠ってる人たちもみんな。だからどーんと私に任せちゃってください。サテンさんきっとあと5分だけとか言っちゃいますよ。
That's really nice of Uehara. This is the first time we see Saten being this serious about
サテンさんは
anything.
欠陥品なんかじゃありません。能力なんか使えなくたっていつもいつも私を引っ張ってくれるじゃないですか。力があってもなくてもサテンさんはサテンさんです。私の親友なんだから。だから
Oh.
そんな悲しいこと言わないで。
Oh, Uehara.
ウィーハルを頼れって言われてもね。私だけじゃないですよ。美坂さんや白井さんや他にもすごい人がいっぱい。
Aww. This goes to show how much of a brave face she was putting on, you know?
迷惑ばっかかけてごめん。あとよろしくね。
Even someone who seems so worry-free like Saten was shouldering so much, right? And she was just trying to make sure that she doesn't show it. Is she okay? Is she still awake? Oh, shoot! Silent Majority is the title of the episode. She's in a coma, right? Yeah.
サテンさんもレベルアッパー。ええ、絶対データを解析してサテンさんを助けるんだって。ウイハルは木山先生のところへ。そう。ちょっといい？ん？お話って何ですの？サテンさん、お守り持ってたでしょ？ああ、いつもカバンにぶら下げて。
Yeah.
あれね、お母さんにもらったんだって。学園都市に来る前に。そんな話をお姉様に。うん、多分いろいろ話したかったんだと思う。それなのに私、レベル5とか言ってるけど、そういうところは全然ダメだよね。お姉様、私はさ、目の前にハードルが置かれたら、それを飛び越えないと気が済まないたちだから。レベル5もその結果なだけで、別にすごいとも思わなかった。でも、ハードルの前で立ち止まっちゃう人もいるんだよね。そういう人がいるってことを考えたこともなかった。レベルなんてどうでもいいんじゃない？なんて。無神経な話だよね。
I talked about it
だ
before.
から捜査に協力させて。さて、
I like that she's acknowledging it, right? Because I did mention how it feels it doesn't feel very helpful hearing, you know, Misaka say to you, let's say, oh, levels aren't important, who cares about levels, because she's already level 5, she's already at the peak of that, right? And I talked about that before, how it wouldn't probably feel, even though she is trying to be helpful, it wouldn't feel very, I guess you wouldn't feel great about it, but I like that she's acknowledging it, right? Being like, you know, I can't really say that.
助けるためにも。わかりましたわ。ありがとう。よろし くね。こちらこそ。
She's hurting. She's trying not to let it show. Oh, Frogman.
リオルケコタ。
Yes.
違い
Gikta.
ますの。
これはレベルアッパー被害者の
Oh.
脳波パターンだ。脳波は個人個人で違うから同じ波形なんてありえないんだね。ところがレベルアッパー被害者には共通の脳波パターンがあることに気がついたんだよ。
So does it project?
誰か他人の脳波パターンで
Yeah.
脳が動かされているとしたら人体に多大な影響が出るだろうね。
レベルアッパーに無理やり脳をいじられて植物状態になったってこと？誰が何のつもりで？
僕は医師だ。それを調べるのは君たちの仕事だろ。
So it forces basically a EEG pattern onto a person. It projects their own EEG onto this constant EEG.
そうか。この間の彼女まで。私のせいなんです。あまり自分を責めるもんじゃない。少し休みなさい。コーヒーでも入れてこい。悠長なことをしてる暇は。解析結果はまだ出ていないが、お友達が目覚めた時に君が倒れていては元も子もないだろう。
She's nice.
最後はきっとうまくいくさ。
Not every researcher in this town is completely amoral. Alright. That's nice to see. Synesthesia.
特定の人物の脳波パターンがはっきりしてるなら、ウイハルにバンクの検索をしてもらえば。あ、ウイハルがいないんです。あ、そうだった。まったく。何を騒いでるの？コノリ先輩。なるほど。そういうことなら、バンクへのアクセスは認められるでしょうね。バンクにデータがなかったら？大丈夫ですわ。能力開発を受ける学生はもちろん、病院の受診や職業適正テストを受けた大人のデータも保管されていますの。でも、なんでレベルアッパーを使うと、同一人物の脳波が組み込まれるのかな？しかも能力のレベルが上がるなんて、さっぱりわかりませんわ。コンピューターだって、あるソフトを使ったからって性能が格段に上がるわけじゃないわよね。ネットワークにつなぐならいざ知らず。ネットワークにつなぐと性能が上がるんですか？個々の性能が上がるわけじゃないわ。でも、いくつものコンピューターを並列につなげば、演算能力が上がって。そうか。もしかして、レベルアッパーを使って脳のネットワークを構築したんじゃん。可能性はあるわ。どうや
Oh!
ってみんなの脳をつないでるんです
It's
か？
like creating a
考
server.
えられるとしたら、AIM 拡散力場かな。
AIM diffusion field. Okay.
力を放出
Yeah.
しているわ。もしそれがつながったら。でもあれは無意識化のことだし、私たちの脳はコンピューターで言えば使ってる OS がバラバラだから、つながっても意味ないんじゃないですか？コンピューターネットワークも OS はバラバラだし、使ってる言語だって違うわ。だけ
Mm-hmm.
ど、ネットワークが作れるのはプロトコルがあるからでしょ。
So if you give everyone the same protocol,
特定人物の脳波パターンが
yeah,
役割をしているっていうんですの？
they can all communicate with one another because of it.
でも、そうやって
They're basically on the same frequency.
莫大な量の計算をすることができる。単独では弱い能力しか持っていない人でも、ネットワークと一体化することで、能力の処理能力が向上する。それに加えて、同系統の能力者の思考パターンが共有されることで、より効率的に能力を発揮できるようになる。
Yeah, that makes sense.
おそらく昏睡患者は脳の活動すべてをネットワークに使われているんじゃないかしら。出たわよ。脳波パターン一律 99%。
Telepathy. Ooh! Ooh!
これも共感国性の論文。なんで
Is it her?
他人の研究成果を勝手に見ては。
There's no way.
登録者名、木山晴美。
What?
上原さんがどうしたの？さっきその木山先生のところへ行くって言って。なんで
Oh, that's a cool phone.
おかけになった電話は繋がらないですよ。アンチスキルに連絡。木山晴美の身柄確保。ただし人質がいる可能性あり。はい。ところで以前から気になっていたんだが、その頭の穴は何だい？君の能力に関係があるのかな？お答えする義務はありません。
Smart.
そんなことより、レベルアッパーって何ですか？どうしてこんなことしたんですか？眠っている人たちはどうなるんです？いや、次早だな。
Yeah, a lot of questions. I respect it.
答えてくれない。誰かの能力を引き上げてぬか喜びさせて、何がそんなに面白いんですか？サテンさんだって。サテンさんだって。他人の能力に興味はない。私の目的はもっと大きなものだ。
Expand on that. Expand on that. What is your goal?
レベル5のあなたが手伝ってくれたら。
Also, okay, so it's gonna end. I'm gonna speak after it. I'm gonna let it play.
いざとなれば自分の力で。多分なんとか。運が良ければ。それに一科学者に過ぎない木山にアンチスキルを退ける術はないかと。何千人もの昏睡した能力者の人たちが握られてるのに。
Yep. A couple thousand is insane.
何か嫌な予感がするの。ならなおのこと。ここはジャッジメントの私が。
Can she?
そんな体で残っても。お姉様、気づかれて当たり前でしょ。あんたは私の後輩なんだから。こんな時ぐらいお姉様に頼んなさい。
Aww.
お姉様。
Oh, I like this kind of Misaka. I like when Misaka's a bit more of a softie, a reliable older sister, if you will. Ah, that smirk. That smirk. Okay, we have some things to talk about here at the end after the ED. Okay. Okay. So yeah, we have some interesting things to talk about here. So the researcher, I don't have my notes in this setup with me, so I'm already everything. All the names are already out of my head because of that. I really need my notes. Anyways, yeah. So the researcher, she's connecting all the brains into this network of brains using the EEGs, right? Basically superimposing her own EEG onto those people so that she can synchronize all their brains and basically level them up because of it, because she's making basically a neural network, if you will, of all of those brains, raising their power together, right? But it seems like it also obviously should be synchronized with her own brain because she is using her own EEG, right? If that's the case, she should also probably be getting stronger, right? Because she's also part of the computing power, part of the network. But I don't think that's her entire purpose. She said that or her entire goal behind this entire thing, she said that she wants to, her reason is far greater. So it seems like there's something happening there. I feel like, I don't know, you can definitely siphon that power, right? I'm sure if you superimpose that EEG onto something else, maybe like a robot or something of sorts, and by a robot I mean something akin to a clone, like a sister, Misaka's sister, right? Maybe that can then become extremely powerful, and everyone else is in a coma. They're basically acting as purely a power source for this network. They can't utilize the powers, tap into the powers, but they are still connected to the network, which is enough, right? They are still utilized as a power source. Interesting. It seems like the only, like, genuinely negative thing from what we've seen of this is because you are forcefully changing a person's EEG, it puts a huge strain on their body and it knocks them out because of it. I don't know about the entire crime thing. I do think it's more so a thing of people getting more power, and because of that getting a bit blinded by their power. It isn't a thing where it's like changing their psyche purposefully to become more to become more likely to commit crimes. I think it's more so because people get more powerful and they're like, okay, now that I have this power, I can get away with the crimes that I previously couldn't have, right? I think it's more so in that direction. But what I was going to say is, it seems like, yeah, the only downside to this EEG or this entire power-up, level-upper, is that because you're superimposing an EEG forcefully onto a person, it knocks them out because it's bad for the physical. But if you could change an EEG of a person and synchronize it with other people without hurting the body and stuff like that, without putting them in a coma, are there any downsides to it? Like, people would get stronger. Is that a downside? I don't think that's a downside. I mean, depends on why you want people to get stronger, right? But at the end of the day, I feel like the government would be happy with that. They could use them in a war way more efficiently, or anything that they wanted, right? More power means more fighting forces. We saw how eager they were to level up Accelerator, right? So if this was possible to do, I don't think there's a downside to it. Apart, obviously, if this is possible to do without knocking them out, without the EEG actually hurting their bodies, like changing the EEG, right? But as I said, I don't think you can do that, right? I don't think you can do that without hurting them. So that's the entire point of it. Interesting. I don't know how you get them back. You would need to change the EEG back into their old EEG somehow. I don't know how, but even if you did that, wouldn't that also count as forcefully changing the EEG again? I think so, right? If you, let's say, if you have the pattern of the old EEG of the person, you wanted to change them back into the old EEG, and you try to invoke it with the same process with the entire testament thing, right? With synesthesia and all those things, that would once again be forcefully changing their EEG back into the old one, which should in turn also once again hurt their body, right? So I think that would not be the way to go about it. You would need to somehow reverse it without going through the same process. Maybe an actual... No, I don't think so. I was gonna say maybe an actual testament could do it without hurting them, but I don't think so, because at the end of the day, you would still be changing their EEG, which is the thing that is harmful, right? I don't know how they're going to help them out, the people in a coma, right? I guess we'll see. And I don't know what the goal is of the researcher. What exactly is she planning? I mean, at the end of the day, she has a lot of power at her disposal here, right, that she can use for whatever she wants now, because she has the exact frequency as to which she needs to tune anything that she wants for that to also tap into this power. So, I mean, the world is her oyster right now. She can do anything she wants with this. So, yeah, we'll see what exactly her plan is, right? We'll see exactly what her plan is. But for now, also, another thing, really like the scene with Saten and with Uiharu. I want to say that as well. That was a great scene. Having a character that's like always so chipper, so upbeat, so happy, get really serious and get really emotional, and just show that, all of that has oftentimes kind of been an act for her to hide all of her insecurities. That was just a cool scene to see that, right? But anyways, yeah, we'll see where this is gonna go. For now, I'm gonna end it here. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.